we go.
There we go.
All right. So here we go. We're gonna dream. We are gonna dream from dreams to reality, right? We're gonna read from dreams to reality. On page 530 and 531. Okay, we have some informational text here. What does it mean from dreams to reality? What does that mean? Angela was dreaming of winning the writing contest, right? Did she make that reality?
Yes.
She did, kind of in a creative way. What does that mean, Maya? Right, so you had a dream and then you made it happen, right? Sci-fi authors predict the future. I'm going to read on page 530. Long ago, computers, fax machines, and satellites seemed impossible. There was not a hint or a rumor that they could ever be a part of our lives. Yet now we use them every day. They were first dreamed up, not by engineers, but by science fiction writers. Jules Verne was a writer who could concentrate on amazing ideas. In 1863, he published an early science fiction book, 5 Weeks in a Balloon. Since then, people have been impressed by how the genre can predict the future. Many predictions, like time travel, are not possible in the real world, but sometimes machines first dreamed up by writers do become real. You think back to a book you've read where they had like cell phones in it, but they weren't really, like that would have been a time they wouldn't have been around. It's kind of neat how books kind of create these things that we have today, right? So think about that story we've read with the time machine. You think somebody will ever create or invent a time machine? Yeah?
It'll take it like a ton. It won't be anytime soon.
It's possible, right? Okay, whether or not it happens, we'll have to see. It's possible. Anything's possible, but
Somebody just has to make a book of time travel.
I'm ready to move on. Page 531, so you're going to hit that arrow. We're going to come to this page. Manned flight to the moon. See, you would have thought that wasn't... Jackson wants to go to Mars, right?
Yeah.
Possibly he could someday, right?
He could? No, there's
Someday.
Hey, you can buy
Let's find out about this manned flight to the moon. Verne was a master at predicting what lay ahead. In 1864, he wrote From the Earth to the Moon. The book tells about a flight to the moon. This was 105 years before the first manned mission to the moon reached its destination. Verne's mission has a 3-man team. That's the same number used in real moon landings. His space travels are sent from Florida. NASA sends astronauts into space from there too. The size of Verne's space capsule is also very close to that of the real Apollo spacecraft. Not all the ideas that Verne produced are true. His space capsule is shot from a cannon. Today, rocket engineers propel modern spacecraft. And here we have a Saturn V rocket blasts off for the moon. On July 20th, 1969, the world watched Apollo 11 astronaut Neil Armstrong step onto the moon's surface. They heard him say in a collected voice, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." What does that mean? It's a very famous quote. You've probably heard that one before.
Yes, I heard it.
What's it mean, Adam? Yeah. Right. He took that small step, but for everybody else, it was a big accomplishment, right? Something a lot of people worked hard to do. All right. Robots, page 532. We're going to slide over one more time here.
Wait, aren't there like some robots in 2020? Yeah.
There are. You hear about some. I think, didn't we see one on CNN 10?
Yeah. That's like a dog.
I think so. Yeah.
Washed up on shore a while ago.
What did?
It was hand washed
Okay.
Alexa's a robot.
All right.
Yeah.
Kind of, right?
No, controlled by the FBI.
All right. So page 532, robots. The word robot first entered our language through a play, not a laboratory. Czech writer Karl Čapek used the word in his 1921 play R.U.R. Rossum's Universal Robots. In the play, robots look like humans and are used for cheap labor. 50 years later, real labor-saving robots will be putting together manufactured goods in factories. Not everyone is a fan of science fiction, but most people have admitted that these writers seem to see the future. It is a compliment to the power of imagination that so many sci-fi dreams do come true. The next time you read science fiction, remember, you may be reading about your future. Ooh, interesting.
It might not be my future. Might be somebody else's.
Might be.
What is this little story here, this little article? What's its main idea? What's it trying to tell us? John?
Dreams can become reality.
Okay. Like what kind of dreams? What is it specifically talking about as far as dreams go, Kenny?
Dreams that seem impossible to.
Okay. Impossible things. It's focusing on like science kind of things, right? Technology. Okay. It's taking things that people wrote about, right? People were creating in their minds. It's taking those things and showing you how they eventually became reality. Okay? That's the main idea. What are some details that support that main idea? Details that support the idea that this story is about writers, authors, writing about things that eventually do happen. Things becoming reality.
They can tell the future.
You have to look in your story, not at me, in the book, find a detail.
A detail of how it could become reality.
Know a detail that supports the main idea that authors or writers imagined things that seemed impossible, but they eventually became reality. Josh?
Like time travel are not possible in the real world, but sometimes machines first dreamed up by writers do become real.
Okay, good. So you're looking at that last sentence on page 530. Sometimes machines first dreamed up by writers do become real. Good. Kenny?
The next time you read science fiction, remember you may be reading the future.
All right. It's the last sentence of the article. Give me one more. We got two details. I need one more. John, I need you looking. I need you looking in your books or on your iPads within the reading text. Finding a detail. There's many in here. It says the word robot first entered our language through a play, not a laboratory. Carl used the word in 1921. Maya, another one.
This was 105 years before the first man's mission reached its destination.
So you're looking at the book, right, that tells about a flight to the moon. So you might have to include both those sentences. Okay, good. Flight
What did John
about the flight to the moon book was 105 years before it happened. Jackson? All right, most people admit that they seem to see the future. Good. So those are all details that would support our main idea. All right. Let me slide this over this way and find Schoology. Oops. We're going to go down to lesson 17. And in lesson 17, you have a lesson 17 vocab worksheet. So that worksheet is going to review the vocab words, obviously. And there are 2 questions down here that you have to type in. Ooh, we kind of talked about this one already. What's the main idea of the whole article? Hopefully you were listening. We gave you a bunch of details. I gave you the main idea. You've got to type in there an answer, and you have to type an answer in here. So when I'm typing answers, one word,
No.
one sentence,
No.
2 sentences.
No.
Probably in this case, if I need evidence for this one,
Probably 3.
At least 3.
at least if not more. It's worth 5 points, so you probably want 5 sentences. I would base it off of that. This one down here is worth 3 points, so I would try and do 3 sentences. 1 sentence in either one of these is going to get 1 point. Sometimes 0, depending on if it even answers the question. Okay? So it's important to put as much detail and as much thought as you can into these for full credit. So you're doing vocab first, and there is a word bank, so that means if you spell them wrong, I'm not going back and giving you credit. Most of you know you click in the box, right? Click on a word. Puts it in there for you, okay? I'm not saying these are right, I'm just randomly clicking, but you get the idea, okay? Don't spell them wrong, because I won't go back and give credit. You've got a word bank, you can click them in. You don't even have to type them. Okay, that is your only reading assignment for today.